morning. I hope you are well. It's been about 2 years since we sat down and got ready for the day, and I shared my makeup routine and everything, so I figured it's time for an update. I love my makeup routine. It's so simple, so natural, nothing too fancy, but I love it. I think it works well for just my lifestyle and what I like to do. I definitely don't consider myself to be a makeup expert, but I like what we're working with. I feel like I've found those products that I really love and again, just like work well for where we're at. So first of all, this morning, as soon as I woke up, I put on my Rhode glazing milk and the barrier butter. And that just helps, you know, keep things nice and moisturized. And then before I apply my makeup, I use this Great Skin by Merit. Something about this, it just makes your skin very luminous and has that nice glowy, dewy. I feel like I love that too. I love a sun-kissed, glowy look, especially living in a tropical climate. It just bodes well. So I'm going to show you all of that. In this makeup routine, it truly does take 5 minutes, which as a mom, I feel like that's such a common thing. People say like, oh, get ready to do your makeup in 2 minutes or whatever, which honestly, yeah, there are days where that's the case. And the other day I was doing my makeup in the nursery when my son was just playing around, and it was so funny because as soon as I opened my makeup bag, of course, the most interesting thing in the room becomes whatever's in this bag, and he wanted to explore everything. So it is so cute, but I feel like even before becoming a mom, my makeup routine has always been super quick because it's just, I like doing my makeup, but I don't really get super fancy with it. So there's nothing that's going to take that long, if that makes sense. So for foundation, I love this Best Skin Ever by Sephora. It's pretty simple. I actually just ordered a new bottle. Yeah, and usually I just put it right on my face, and then I take my Merit brush. I love my little makeup pouch, but sometimes I am just digging in here like, okay, where did it go? Where did it run off to? And something else about my makeup routine is that it is the same whether I am going to run errands or if I'm going to a wedding. So I am trying to figure out what could be like something. I would take a little bit more time if I was going to a wedding, but I don't have any like other products that I use for special occasions. So I am wondering like maybe I should get a special occasion eyeshadow or learn something fancier with eyeshadow or learn something fancier with eyeliner that could really set it apart so it's not just like my everyday makeup for these fancy events. Okay, then I do my Merit concealer. This actually, I don't even think it's called concealer. I think it's called foundation because they don't have liquid foundation. This is supposed to be used as their foundation, but I use it like you would use concealer. Put it in any of my highlights. And as I'm applying my concealer, I also apply my bronzer, which is also Merit. I'm a big fan of Merit. And I'm a little heavy-handed with the bronzer, okay? I'll be the first to admit it. I love a little glowy look. So I make sure to blend in my concealer or the lighter shade first. And then I blend our bronzer. If I'm feeling really crazy or if I'm a little more tan than usual, I'll do the bronzer twice, like do 2 layers of it. And that's what I like about Merit's products. I find them to be very blendable, especially if you have hydrated base. So that works amazingly. And then for blush is personally my favorite makeup item. So I have a few different options, but again, I'm into the Merit. So this is the Beverly Hills shade. But I also have their terracotta shade and fox shade. I really like fox, and then terracotta I use more like in the fall time, but this is a really, really pretty pinky color. We're about to go on a walk with some friends, which I would not normally do my makeup for this, but again, it's been too long since I did a makeup routine, and it sounded fun and girly just to sit here and chat, which again, this makeup routine does take 5 minutes, but since I'm yapping, it's gonna take a little longer. And with the blush, I will layer this as well if I feel like I could use a little more. I would say I do my makeup probably 3 times a week, 3 or 4 times a week. Of course it varies week to week, but I love having days where I don't wear makeup. Okay, now for eyebrows. I have this pencil, this little brow pencil, which I am getting more comfortable with. I feel like a few years ago I was much more into doing my brows, but you know, I just don't have the inspiration to do them as intricately, but I kind of gently like do little feathery swoops within my brows to just add more definition. And then I also have a little eyebrow. What is the name of this? See, you can tell I'm not a makeup guru because I don't know what the names of all these different tools are, but let me show you what it is. Oh, here it is. So it's like an eyebrow wand. Would that be a good word for it? I'll gently brush over the brows, and this kind of sticks them in place a little bit, adds some stiffness to it because it's adding in some product. So there we have it. And then for most just everyday simple days, I don't do eyeshadow, but what I've been doing is I used to do my bronzer in the crease of my eyes, but now I've actually been using this blush, and I really like the pinky tone just in the corners. So I'll just apply a bit, and then I'll just blend it with my finger to help it not be creasy or anything. And this just adds a super subtle color and like shadow to your eyelids. So I've been loving that. And it's great too because when we do travel or we're away for the night and I want to pack a makeup bag, like it's very simple. I don't bring a ton of different products and stuff. So that just feels like a weight off your shoulder, you know? You don't need to lug around a whole bunch of stuff. And then this is the highlighter I'm using. Again, I usually just blend it with my finger, and pretty much the only brush I use for my whole makeup routine is this Merit brush. So we have that, and now we just have a couple more steps. So how long has it been? I don't even know, but again, we are chatting it up in between, so it's taking a bit longer. For mascara, I actually just purchased this one, so it's new to both of us. Ooh, it's made in Italy. That's really cool. So this is a tubing mascara, which basically I'm not very picky with mascaras, except I hope it's tubing. You know what? I'm being so flustered because I'm not used to explaining what I'm doing. I forgot 2 majorly important steps. Bronzer, and then this like highlighting bronzer, which I've had this for seriously like a decade, which I said this 2 years ago in my last makeup routine is my products just last so long. I feel like I never finish a makeup, very rarely I finish a makeup product besides like mascara, and I have been going through my Merit products a bit more, but okay, like I said, I was flustered. I usually do my bronzer before the blush, but you know, I'm getting stage fright doing my makeup routine. This is the Kosas bronzer, and I like it a lot. It's good. It's a really nice color. It's you know, it's so faded I can't even see what color it is, so I will link it, but I'm not sure what the shade is on the top of my head. Okay, and then this is the Hourglass bronzer highlighter duo. And again, I've had this for so long, and I do realize that makeup expires and you're supposed to switch it out, but it just feels so wasteful. Like, why would I not finish it? And you know, I know it doesn't have the best stuff in it anyways, so hi. That's how I feel. Okay, since we backtracked a little bit, I'm gonna put on more blush, which again, that's a good thing about this blush is it's super blendable, forgiving, so that's something I'll do if I am having a no makeup day, but I want a little zhuzh, a little something, I'll just do the blush real quick because again, it is my favorite. Okay, now we're gonna do our mascara, our new mascara. It's Kulfi, I think that's how you say the new mascara we have. I like the Thrive Cosmetics one though, and I like Bare Minerals mascara. So I just did a little curl, and let's try it out. There's something so satisfying about a brand new mascara, a brand new tube of mascara. If you're unfamiliar with tubing mascara, it's amazing because essentially it covers each eyelash like a tube. So when you remove your makeup at the end of the day, it doesn't make a big, just messy situation. It's just like these little flecks that pull off of your eyelash. It's incredible. I don't even understand that technology, but I'm a fan. Okay, I will say something that I don't do every day, but I'll do some days if I want a little something something, is I'll do a tiny little winged eyeliner, but I use a dark shade of eyeshadow. So the shade I use, it's MAC Give a Glam, and then I use this super tiny angled brush. Hopefully you can hear some of the bird sound out the window. It's so pretty. And then I do a simple little wing like so, just like a boop boop. That's the technical term, boop boop boop. And I actually like to do the eyeshadow. That was purposeful. I like to do the little winged eyeshadow after the mascara because I feel like having the mascara actually helps me guide the eyeliner, like the direction I want to go, because the eyelashes are more swoopy. So we have that, and now it's just lips. So for lips, I do have a combo that I really love that I've loved for quite some time. It's the shade Velvet Teddy, and then I like this whatever walnut lip liner. I gotta fish it out. The longest part of my makeup routine is finding the different products. I've never tried a lip stain before, but I'm curious. I feel like that would be fun for like beach days when you don't really want to wear lip product, but you want some color. I also think I'd like it too because I've been wearing lip products less because I'm just always kissing on my son, my little baby. So of course I don't want to get that all over him. But I also like a little something on my lips. Okay, and then for gloss, the Rhode gloss. I do love Rhode's products, and they're relatively clean, so it's also a plus. And just like that, our makeup is complete. And let me check the time. I think, yeah, I'm running a little behind, so I'm gonna go meet up with some friends, go on a walk, and then we'll come back and do our bun tutorial, and I'll give you the details of that. But simple, easy breezy makeup look, and I'll see you soon. Okay, we are back from our walk. I feel like this is a good testament to how the makeup holds up after a 2-hour walk. And I did a quick little bun before we left, but basically I'm gonna do a tutorial of a more refined bun, but it's a similar idea. If I'm in a rush too, and I just wanna do a messy bun, but I don't have the time to like use heat tools or anything, I love to put a little bandana like this because I feel like it just pieces it together more, makes it look a little more intentional. So this is my hair. I air dried it last night. I took a shower and then air dried it last evening. I try to give myself enough time before going to bed to have it air dry without like sitting on wet hair while I sleep. One, that's super uncomfortable. Two, I feel like it kind of eats up some of the volume if I sleep with wet hair. So I have pretty naturally wavy hair, and for this tutorial, I feel like having as much texture as possible is helpful. So if you have more straight hair, maybe do some waves with a wave tool or a curling iron. That might help a little bit. But yeah, I try to just kind of keep the waves how they are, and then I am going to use a straightener and a curler for our little refining. So basically for the heat tools, I like to do the little front pieces, and I just pull those out. I pull about this much of hair to the front, and then I take the straightener and I just sort of tame the pieces close to my face. Also, hopefully you can hear the cute noises my baby's making. He's just right at my feet curling about. So if I look down or pause, it's because he's talking or making sure he's not getting into anything. Okay, so I just do like the tip top because I get like little curls around the baby hairs and stuff, so I just sort of tame those. And then I take the curling iron and I try to do a curl pretty close to the edge of my scalp, just to add some volume. So I hold that for a little bit and then just leave it like so. I kind of break it up so it doesn't look as polished, just looks a little more lived in. And then I do the other side as well. And again, I do love a lived in natural look, so I'm not super picky about it. Again, just try to I curl it, but then I kind of zhuzh it so it's not a perfect curl. Okay, for the bun, I'm gonna try to explain this as helpful as possible. And we're still gonna use, you can turn your straightener off, but I'm still gonna use the curling iron. So just keep that handy. And you just need one hair tie for this style. So that's also great if you're on the go. Okay, so I take my hair and I pull up the back, and it's basically like you're making a ponytail, but I leave these pieces out and about. And then you gather all the hair at the top of your head. And then I'm gonna pull it again like a ponytail, and then I twist it, and then I gather it like this, so like half of my hair. And then I twist it around again. And then that's it. There it is, but we're gonna make it look a little bit more fun and full, which again, hopefully this will work out for any length of hair. I know there's other tutorials out there that use 2 hair ties, so maybe that's more flexible for different hair types and different lengths, but this one just is so easy. And I feel like it will work for a lot of people. It's just like, sometimes I have to redo it. We actually did pretty good that first round, but yeah, sometimes you just need to give it a few tries. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out little pieces. So we already have these in the back. You wanna make sure you have some pulled out in the back. And then you have some in the front as well. So you just kind of like pick and choose what feels, you use your heart, and just, again, it'll become more natural the more you do it. And then you're gonna take your curling iron and like these pieces right here, I'm just gonna add more body to it, and that'll just make it feel a little bit more fancier, feel a little bit more polished. And yeah, you can just add as much as you want, as much volume that feels right and what you're looking for. But that's pretty much it. These boys are ready for some attention, ready for some playtime. We got Bomber, we got Wells down here, but I have been enjoying taking the time to get ready and just kind of feel, it helps me feel like myself, and I do enjoy these things. Even though I have a pretty simple routine for makeup and hair, it's fun. It feels really fun to take time to do that. I really hope this hair tutorial was comprehensive enough and made sense, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you are well, and I'm excited to see you next.